The most terrible days we are experiencing now in Israel-Palestine. As you probably know, that Israel is now committing genocide in Gaza. And sorry, when I just arrived, I saw all the cameras and I was afraid because I'm so sorry. I'm sorry because we cannot speak back home. For the last 3 months, I cannot talk back home, and I'm afraid from cameras. And this play was made before this war. You know, everyone should use his tools. I'm Israeli, so I can use only my tool. I'm an artist, so I use my art to resist. I wanted to show not only the Israeli apartheid, but also the collaboration of the Palestinian Authority with Israel. Also, when I do theater, I don't have enough time. I want to do it now. Usually, of course, not usually, never, I get money from the state. So I don't have a lot of money to do miracles on stage. And Israelis are going to civilian court, but Palestinians go to military courts. This is apartheid. You know, Palestine needs the world. They need the people to support them, to do something. Yeah. They cannot do it alone. Of course, activists in Israel cannot do it. So we need the world to support us.
And I think this is one of the very important performances in the festival. Just as an audience, I was in the show, and I'm thinking, why this play, How to Make Revolution, is so highly, hugely accepted by the audiences. Last afternoon. So there is a full house, full audiences. And you know, after the show, I can also understand that after the show, people, all of us, started clapping and congratulating you, your team, and your performance. There is no gimmicks, no special effects. Because we have it trains in all over the world. There is a special effects, gimmicks, through lights, set, props, music, and everything. But personally, what I believe that your play, the content of your play itself, the content is very connected, contemporary. And that is the gimmicks, that is the special effects. The content itself conveyed a strong encouragement, a strong, this so brave. So this is the point why I myself are encouraged by your play. I want to know, being an Israeli, where do you find this strength, this brave, or this courage? So we all are interested to know from you. Please, the playwright and director, and also the playwright director is on the stage.
Thank you so much for your words. It makes me very emotional, and in general, for me and all my team, this invitation from ITFOC Festival is very important. It's for us a break from the most terrible days we are experiencing now in Israel-Palestine. As you probably know, that Israel is now committing genocide in Gaza. And and being accepted here the way you accept us is so rare for us. It's so, all my team, they are not, it's like they cannot believe that someone can applaud to us in such a way, because we just encounter so many limitations and struggles. And when I just arrived, I saw all the cameras and I was afraid, because I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, because we cannot speak back home. So I told this gentleman that I'm sorry that I will not be able to speak freely. Last time I spoke freely on social media was the 7th of October. It's the day of the Hamas attack. And I was uploading to my story the context, like what happened before the Hamas attack. It didn't happen like without no context. It happened after a very, very long Israel violence, but the Israeli violence is, most of it is unseen, is not like now. So I uploaded the context and I immediately got fired, and my daughters are bullied at school. Sorry. So being accepted here like this is, I thank you. Oh my God. So I don't know if I'm courageous, because now, for the last 3 months, I cannot talk back home, and I'm afraid from cameras. So, and this play was made before this war in Gaza. It was in like a different decade, where all the eyes were at the West Bank and not on Gaza. And I was afraid that the play is not relevant, because now the violence is so brutal and so unbearable. And it's a different, as I said, different kind of violence. So I was relieved to see that the audience is still find it relevant and interesting. It is relevant because we must encourage and continue to do non-violent resistance, and you know, everyone should use his tools. I'm Israeli, so I can use only my tool. I'm an artist, so I use my art to resist and to cross borders through art, because the Israeli colonial state is all about putting borders, and art is about crossing borders, but also making this play. And I was trying to show it inside the play. We had so many barriers we had to cross, and I wanted to show not only the Israeli apartheid, but also the collaboration of the Palestinian Authority with Israel. This is the last part of the play. But not only this, also to show that for me and Issa, the Palestinian writer with whom I wrote, and also it's about him, for us to meet is almost impossible. For us to speak, for us to sit together, we have to cross bureaucratical and physical borders, and to be examined and criticized by the state, by the Palestinian Authority, by other activists who are monitoring us. So all these limitations are inside the play. The play it's a documentary play, also using the protocols of the trial of Issa Amro, but also using documents like WhatsApps and videos and YouTube and reconstructions of conversations I had with Issa, and everything is inside it. Sorry for crying.
No, thank you. I mean, we all understand your situations, and also our student situations is not better than you in everywhere, including my country, in Bangladesh also. So the whole, the world prevailing the same situations. So you're not only alone. Last show, when we performed at 4:30 here for 1 hour, so we all agreed to express our sincere solidarity for the liberation of Palestine, that free Palestine. In Bangladesh also, we have a lot of hesitations, lot of solidarities in the streets in favor of Palestine. Because in the world, injustice is, to tell the truth is injustice. If you tell lie in theater, in daily life, in a political situation, tell lies, then it will be justice. So I will not tell my stories. I would like to, want to ask you as an audience, why your performance is so simple? Why you do not explore uses, like metaphoric or allegorical things and other things like sound, music, like there is many opportunities. Because I was in India, I studied at National School of Drama, New Delhi in 88, 91. So my school in Delhi, they have a train to, uses a lot of scenographical things, which is happening in Kerala, in my country, in all over the India, all over the world. So many scenographical things unnecessarily sometimes. And you know why I come Kerala? Because one of my friend in NSD, he is not my batchmate in NSD from Kerala, Tricur, and he was with me in the same room in NSD guest house, hostel, for 3.5 years. He died. He's KK Rajan. He's my classmate from Tricur. So when I come Kerala for the memories, to celebrate, to respect his memories. So now about your play, I was asking you, why so simple, so natural?
I think that, first of all my plays are documentary plays, and traditionally in documentary theater we don't use a lot of elements. And also, as you said, the subject is so urgent, and it's like I need to say these things urgently now. I don't have time to think about allegories. I want the audience to know in Israel and out of Israel what is happening in their names. So usually in my theater, I bring, I try to shed light on institutions of oppression, like the military court or the prisons, which are institutions that operate in the dark. And I just want to bring it to the light, to the audience. So I don't need anything else, and I think that too many elements will take us, because I know many theater makers that, of course, use allegories, but now in the state of events in Palestine, Israel, we need to take a clear stand, and also when I do theater, I don't have enough time. I want to do it now. Usually, of course, not usually, never I get money from the state. So I don't have a lot of money to do miracles on stage, but this it is advantage for me. So the things would be simple and straight. This is what is happening. So
now just floor on for the audience. Please, you raise questions.
Sorry. So what I really liked the best, as I see it, about your play was the ending, where Isa just sits down and everybody else just joins them without doing anything. I know why not doing anything. I was also at theater school studying, and the first thing they would say, it's about doing, to do, you have to do, action. But in situations where we are all helpless, and the whole world, when we look at the picture of what is happening in Gaza and what the big worlds, the corporates are all doing, there are protests by young people, protests by the Palestinians, etc. But there is a point where we are not able to do anything, and our doing doesn't count anywhere. And what else we can do? So you use this as a very powerful tool at the end of the play, where we were also kind of, become numb, and there is nothing else is needed. Because whatever paraphernalia doesn't fit your play, and I don't want to call it a documentary play. There was life, there was characters, there was real people. So it's not a documentary play. It's a real life.
I just want to comment that my dream is that the audience will join us on the stage and sit with us. We want to call in Palestine for a general strike, just not doing anything, and by this to change things. This is another way of non-violent resistance.
No, actually, my question is similar to him. I was wondering when I came this year to this festival, this is my last day, I was there for all the plays. day before yesterday, there was a play which said digital theater. It was 45 minutes documentary film. Not even one person on the stage. And your play is a play. You know, I couldn't understand because I was at the extreme end and I could not read subtitles. You know, could not understand. I enjoyed it, whatever I saw. And why do anybody who named this as a documentary theater? You know, what is it? Why it's different? Why it's not different from? It's like any play. You know, why they name them as documentary theater or something like that? And you said Israel apartheidis. I don't understand what you mean by that. Israeli apartheidis.
Apartheid.
Yeah, I don't. Apartheid is
state.
mostly connected with black culture, black people, but used for Israel. That's why I'm asking.
Yes, I use the word apartheid to express what is happening in Israel, Palestine, because there, especially in the play, we show the system, how Israel is using law and the court system in order to oppress the Palestinian people. But the Palestinian people have their military court system, and Israelis have another one at the same place. Israelis are going to civilian court, but Palestinians go to military court. This is apartheid. In my first monologue in the play, I say that I came first time to Hebron, to this city, and the street was empty. Only religious Jews were at the street, which was the marketplace and the heart of the city. And now Palestinians are not allowed in the street. There are separate streets for Palestinians and Jews, or Palestinians and Israelis. Muslims go one way, Jews go other way. This is apartheid.
Documentary?
Yes, documentary theater is a theater that is using documents in order to, it's like a research about subjects. Okay, so I take documents and it's not something that I wrote, it's the real protocols from Issa's trial. I didn't change it, I just some of it I translated to English, but it's the real documents, and this is the documentary theater. It's not that I usually when I write plays, I don't sit in my room in Tel Aviv and I'm writing my plays. I go to the military court. I write together with Palestinian communities. This time, I went to the military court for days and days and days. I was sitting there till the moment they spotted me and they realized that I'm doing something, that I'm documenting them. And then I couldn't get inside anymore. So this is documentary theater, using documents. No, and my other plays, all my plays are, it's also about making communities which are like resistance communities. Because if I write with prisoners or ex-prisoners, and so the play is like something small comparing to the community we create. Now I'm in touch with political prisoners, some of them inside prison, some of them are released, but we're still working together. So, and this is, for me, it is so important making these communities. Also when I did a play about house demolishing, this play was here in 2018. I'm still in touch with people that their house was demolished, that are activists in this area.
Thank you for the play. I have nothing to ask you or anything to ask you because I saw the play. I watched it. I just want to convey our solidarity with you. I know it's easy to be here in Kerala and express a solidarity, but you raised a criticism against Indian government also. We stand with that criticism also, and we love you, and we always be with you. We express our solidarity with sincerity. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Say one thing that I really appreciated how you were positioned in the play. You were not there as a researcher, you were not there as a director, but you were there as a subject within that play. And I really appreciated that you were there, but still you were not the center of it. The story was by you, but it was about Isa, which I really liked. And I would want to know if this balance of this positionality, was it a very conscious choice, or did it came just organically?
Thank you. It's very important to me to show that not to hide the fact that I'm Israeli, not to hide anything about the process. It's part of it. It's part of, okay, we are in the theater, we're now using theater as a political tool. And I also, sometimes I felt I'm a bit made fool out of me because I'm asking Isa, can you come to Tel Aviv? And sometimes I exaggerated a little bit to show how far we are and how ignorant sometimes the Israelis are. But what was interesting in the process with Isa is the middle, he is the most important, but also the way he's telling the story to me, to Israeli women. So the play is actually a long conversation between me and Isa. This is like showing the conversation between a Palestinian activist and theater maker, Israeli theater maker and Palestinian activist. I'm also an activist, but he's in the front. So it is our conversation. And what was interesting, because when I came to him, and I also say it in the play, I want to make a play about the court system. It's very important. And I came with my Israeli ideas, but in some point he decolonized the play from me, because for him what is more painful from the Israeli oppression was the Palestinian Authority that is cooperating with Israel. So he said we must put this inside the play, and it was not my idea. And in some point I was okay. He will take me. He will take me to his world, his issues that is important to him. So the play is our conversation.
I've been. I came backstage and told you as I would concur with her, that was one of the best statements in the play, and I think which sent a ripple through the crowd was this open criticism of the current position of the government at the center. Well, we've all grown up with this thing of, a deep friendship and comradeship with the Palestinians. That's how we were raised. And also when I was a student in Baroda, there were so many Palestinian students there, and one wonders where they are now. And I just want to ask you this question. Listening to this whole thing, and also all the stuff that we're seeing on Instagram, it's like a war is live on Instagram, or the number of posts that we see. What is it like to be in where you are in Tel Aviv? What is it like? Has the kind of, any sense of compassion all dried up totally in the majority area? Like here, what is happening is just that there is the othering of a minority community. When you are othering, in the sense that that lines of apartheid becomes deeper and deeper, the other person is dehumanized. And there's almost a celebration of pain or humiliation. How deep is that where you live? How do you cope with it, and how much in danger are you? I don't know. And my questions are not clear, but I think you can get my intent.
Thank you for the question. So in Israel, people watch the news and they see a completely different war than you see here. There is no images of Gaza, nothing. Sometimes we see from the air, like bombing from the air, like aerial videos. But we don't see kids dying. We don't see women under the rubble. We don't see it. People in Israel, they see a completely different, like the Israelis are still stuck on the 7th of October, the Hamas attack, which was horrible. But watching the news in Israel is watching again and again what happened in October 7th. Like nothing moved since then. So most of them, they just don't know and they don't care because the kids that are dying will grow to be future terrorists. This is for the average Israeli. And all the, it's also my friends, but all this society, they went right. It became very to the right. All the middle became right, left became middle. So it's every and of course many Palestinians that live in Israel got arrested if they show any solidarity on social media. Also, Israelis got arrested just for saying that they are against killing civilians. You cannot talk now. So for me, the most difficult thing is not me. I'm used to be attacked and to get death threat and rape threat and all this. But my daughters, this is the first time that I'm worried about them. And it makes me sometimes considering what I'm saying. Almost all the hospitals in Gaza were attacked. Not only the hospitals, but also universities and culture centers and schools. There is nothing in Gaza anymore.
Some savings that you had with Isa after the making of the play that he might have was, or something that he has said.
I'm not sure I understood the question, I'm sorry, but it was the first time he used art as a form of resistance. Isa has his center in Hebron called the Sumud House, which is a steadfastness house, and he uses many means of resistance. So this was the first time he used art. But in the play, we're making fun of, like Isa is telling me, okay, can I breathe? Well, what do you want me to do? To make art? He's like making fun of it because, you know, I think it's important, but also like, because the Palestinian cannot resist, there is no legitimate way that the Palestinian can resist. It's a problem. And this is why he is choosing in the end just to sit and do nothing, because all the other ways he will be stopped, he will be arrested, he will be at court. I don't know if I answer your question because... Okay.
Thank you so much for you and for your team. Our regards, our love for your team members, for all of you. And thank you very much for listening us. Thank you.
Thank you.
What do you think about the silence of international community. In your play, you raised the question criticizing Indian position on the Gaza issue. Early times, it was not like that. All the human rights organizations, UN, even India, take a position empathetically towards Palestine. It has changed. What do you think about the silence or the pro-Israeli position of international community?
What I see is that the governments, most of governments are pro-Israel, and they are supporting the war, they are weaponize Israel, and they are part of this genocide in Gaza. But together with this, I see protests like I never saw, pro-Palestine, like people are with Gaza. I saw it, on Facebook from everywhere, and Palestine needs the world. They need the people to support them, to do something.
Yeah.
They cannot do it alone. Of course, activists in Israel cannot do it. So we need the world to support us.
Do you have any hope that the world will change as pro-Palestine? Could they take a position in this political or economic policies are changing all around the world, and the political economy is controlling all the governments, all over the world, all governments are turning their position to right wing. That's the world scenario. Do you think?
Listen, things are not going to a good place now, but I must stay optimistic that this will change, and I stick to my optimism without almost no reason now.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.